That might be
It's a
great,
sandbox.
live
It's a
shots.
soapbox. It's Bandbox.
Welcome, everybody, guys, gals, non-binary pals. My name is David Xanatos1138. We are doing episode 8 of a wrestling podcast. Cass, where can the people find you?
As you know, I am your favorite Indie Donna Lone Star Casanova, Mr. Must See TV, Chris Goddamn Magnus on all platforms except for Instagram. That one I made when I was a kid. So that one's _pump. The nickname when I was in track. I was fast, but not as fast as the Super Juniors that we're going to be talking about. Look at that segue, Dave. We got a lot to talk about. Unfortunately for me, my job decided they wanted me to close, even though they know I have stuff to do. But I took notes, and we have a lot of stuff for you guys today that I'm super excited to talk about. So let's take it away.
After this, 2 weeks, because I will be going next week to New York City for Double or Nothing. But then the following Thursday, I'm going to still be in New York and then going to Philly for Fan Expo Philly. So lots of nerdy shit happening,
and we're very excited for all of it. I am so jealous that I'm not able to go to Double or Nothing with Dave, because it's like every day they're adding another match to the card that's like, hey, look at this. Don't you want to buy that plane ticket? No, I don't.
I looked at the card earlier today, which is the background. Most of it is the background of this podcast right now. And I did not realize there are 8 matches.
Oh, already.
Yeah.
Just to start. Whew. Goodness gracious. But speaking of pay-per-views, in the time we were gone, we missed one. At Backlash.
Oh, I saw more memes than anything.
I have to say something, and I wanted to say this to our fans on the podcast, all 6 of you guys, for now. I skipped this pay-per-view. And I know that's crazy because on paper, Seth versus Braun Breaker, Io versus Asuka, Jacob Fatu versus Roman Reigns. I hate Roman Reigns, but I love Jacob Fatu, and the build-up that they were doing for it, which we'll talk about, was fun. I was actually excited to see this pay-per-view. And then I got home. Was too tired. I had work the next morning. Went on Twitter. The first thing I saw was Seth Rollins trying to do that float over spot, which I know is not an Ospreay spot. I can hear the comments. They're already in my TikTok video. Well, you know he did that in Ring of Honor when he was Tyler Black. Yes, I know. But he didn't do it well that night. It looked bad. He landed on his noggin, which I didn't even know you could do from on your feet. But hey, that's neither here nor there. And then he did the very famous Frankensteiner off the top rope, and he didn't land on his feet. I made a whole TikTok video about, I'll say it first, I think my GOAT is a little bit washed. And that's very obvious because I've changed the uniform for the podcast. I now have a Ospreay shirt. I didn't feel comfortable watching that pay-per-view.
You're talking about Seth, right? Seth was doing...
Yeah. Which is like, Seth is getting up there. He has a myriad of injuries. It's not a surprise that he can't do these moves as fluid as he used to.
No, and when you go as often as he's gone and the high flying stuff, your body is going to suffer.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I cannot believe Darby Allin's hasn't suffered yet, but that's a whole different thing. But Seth Rollins, like, he's been doing so many things for so many years. Always tope suicidas, always big, corner buckle bombs, which he's messed up his knee on more than one occasion for. It's going to stack up, and it's not going to heal right at some point. It's just he should retire very soon, like in the next 2 years.
I agree, and we all know Chris is the biggest Seth Rollins mark. I don't care. Everyone says, "Oh, well, he's..." Not on my internet. Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's got me into wrestling. He's one of the wrestlers who made me think that I could do this, like be a wrestler thing that I'm still trying to make happen. One of the first pieces of merch I got was a Seth Rollins poster with his signature on it, where he has that stupid Back to the Future outfit on with those god awful red boots. But that's a treasured possession in my house because I love Seth Rollins. But I will be the first one to admit that I can like timestamp it. When he did that goddamn coast to coast at Crown Jewel or Night of Champions or whatever show it was, Crown Jewel, yeah. I was like, that's the flying too close to the sun moment. Was it fucking awesome? Yes, absolutely. I damn near jumped out of my body watching that.
But the double-edged sword with that is like when you look at all of the members of the Shield, Seth Rollins is by far, I loved his move set the most because it was wild,
Absolutely.
it was everywhere. But then you look at the three of them, and Roman Reigns and Mox are still looking fluid, looking healthy, looking like they can go because they didn't take as many risks as he did.
Yeah, like, and that's saying so, like for Mox, especially deathmatch Mox,
Yeah.
like he learned to like and say what you will like about his AEW run in these past couple of years, especially like at the height of the Death Rider stuff. He still takes his like measured risks when it comes to stuff. Unlike Seth, like sure, Mox will bleed in every match, every kind of way, but Seth is doing crazy shit. The joke I have with you and all of my other wrestling friends is I can count on one hand how many times Seth Rollins has landed that inverted Phoenix splash. Because like sure, he's not like landing like he's not taking a bump for it, but he's still having to like quick stop on his ankles, roll, and that takes a toll. That takes a toll. Look at Naito. God, Naito is a perfect example of like how doing all this high flying lucha shit can catch up with your knees. If you watch any match of his with him and Bucci and Noah right now, oh my god, it's hard to watch. It's super hard to watch. But speaking of lucha libre, that's a good segue to one of the really important things that I want to talk about. We have a new double champion in our midst. One of the greatest luchadors of all time, the man who was outselling John Cena back in the early 2000s, Mystico. Because not only did he become the new Universal CMLL champion by after defeating Hechicero and Black Tiger, he also in a fucking happenstance match. This was just supposed to be a random special tag match between Ichiban Sweet Boys, Kosei Fuchida, and my boy Robbie Eagles. You know, TMDK. You know we rep orange in this house. I know we got the green on now, but I'm a mark for many. But El Desperado and Mystico were supposed to be special tag team match going against Ichiban Sweet Boys. That was before they got their tag titles back. So Desperado being the greatest instigator I've ever seen, damn near, being like, well, why don't we just make it a tag match, for the belts? Unless y'all pussy something. Don't ever, and I've learned this for a fact, don't ever call an Australian man under 5'5" and a Japanese young punk, don't ever call them chicken. Immediately, 2 days later, they ran the match. Unfortunately, my favorite way to end a tag match, double submission. We had the La Mystica, the Numero Dos locked in. We got new tag champs, junior tag champs, that is. And I couldn't be happier because, one, I know they're getting those belts back. We just want Mystico, to have his like nice little, welcome home thing because he's already trios champions in AEW. He did that. Universal champion CML, junior tag champ in New Japan. This is how you treat a legend. That's all I'm gonna say. This is how you treat a legend. And Mystico say what you will about him getting up there in age. To me, it looks like he hasn't missed a step. As a new fan, just being like, damn, I could not tell you how old Mystico is. I couldn't tell you because he moves like a 35-year-old in his prime. Every time he hits La Mystica, it's like looking at music. It's beautiful. If y'all aren't watching New Japan, right now is the best time to start because today was the first day of the best of the Super Juniors. This is going to be my point in time where I just start yapping about New Japan. I'm so sorry, Dave.
No, I mean I like the title of the episode because I don't know what the hell a Super Junior is.
So we're gonna look up the definition of a Super Junior because I don't want to mess this up. Because to my understanding, it's a wrestler under a certain weight class.
Okay. Like a super lightweight.
Yeah, like so I'm assuming this is their cruiserweight division. So the Best of the Super Juniors is an annual professional wrestling tournament held by New Japan Pro Wrestling, typically in May or June. Originally known as the Top of the Super Juniors, the first tournament was held in 1988, with an annual tournament taking place since 1991. The wrestlers were typically junior heavyweights, which are, it's a cruiserweight. It's literally just a cruiserweight. Yeah, it's just a cruiserweight, which I just want to make sure that I got that understanding right because I thought it was like the younger guys. I believe on one of the first episodes of the podcast, that's what I was my presupposed, grasp of it because that's all I was seeing. And then I met Mr. Funky Weapon, Ryusuke Taguchi, who apparently has won like 8 of them hoes and has 83, now count him, because he beat the young lion Daikin the guy in one of the opening matches today. To have 83 wins in the Best of the Super Junior tournaments. He's apparently, you know how they love to lower drop during these matches. Apparently, Ryusuke Taguchi is encroaching on Jushin Thunder Liger's record. So I know you know who that is.
I do know who that is. He was in like 2 matches in WWE back in the day.
Ryusuke Taguchi. I like Ryusuke Taguchi because he is one of those comedy wrestlers. And his finisher is the Funky Weapon, which is just a flying hip attack. So he'd be throwing ass. I don't understand him per se, but every time I see clips of him, he makes me laugh. And every time I watch him in matches, he makes me laugh. They've been doing this thing recently before the tournament where they will Irish whip him and then just like push his back to make him keep running the ropes until he like falls down and gets tired. Like that's great. That's great. I love it. My match of the match of the whole like night for me personally, and I know this is gonna sound biased based on what I just said about TMDK like not even 5 minutes ago, but Robbie Eagles versus Kushida, that might be the greatest technical wrestling match that I've ever seen. And Zack Sabre Jr. wasn't in the match. Isn't that crazy? Mind you, Kushida is the guy that comes out dressed like Marty from Back to the Future. And I knew there was going to be some tension because Kushida is the Filipino world champion. And he is not Filipino, which was brought up at the press conference by Robbie Eagles, who is half Filipino and half Australian. So then Kushida comes out and I know, right? I was like, wow, because I never noticed that like on his trunks, he has the Australian flag and the Filipino flag. I was like, oh wow. That's sick. And it's sick that he like represents both countries equally, even though his name is Robbie Eagles. He's one of the best. And now that Gino is back on commentary, anytime Robbie Eagles has a match, it's like oh my god, it's like JBL with Rey Mysterio. He's just terrible. He sucks. He's a terrible person, awful human being. He's short. It's great. I don't know what happened to the other fellow, maybe travel issues, need to go back to the States or to Europe. But this other guy, he's been gone for 2 years. I guess he was like one of the regular English commentaries, and he's a ball and a half. He's like Paul Heyman back in the early days when he was on the mic with JR.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I was watching live for some of those.
Yeah. The weirdest part of this first night of the tournament, they had two House of Torture guys in the same match. It was Sho and Kanemaru, which is very funny because Sho grabbed the mic and was like, "This should have been the main event, and we're going to show you guys how wrong you were by giving you the greatest wrestling match you've ever seen in your life." And then proceed to do 10 minutes of House of Torture bullshit to each other. It was great. I was so entertained. And it's odd because any other time that I'm watching anything House of Torture related, I'm bored out of my mind. Because it's just like one dude getting jumped. But now it's two crafty little dickheads trying to outwit each other for 3 seconds. I think that was so fun and well done because they easily could have done a finger poke of doom, which commentary was teasing the whole time. And no, they had a match. And they actually beat up the ref after the fact because he was counting too slow.
That's a fine.
It was great. What else stood out to me? Oh, Yo and Dragon Gate's Hyo. Now, other than the fact that they put the two guys whose names rhymes in the match, they also put the two queer guys in the match. So I know Yo only tangentially. I know that he is here and that he is odd. That's all I know. My mutual on TikTok, MJ All-Star, refers to him as a bisexual weirdo. That is true and fair. Now, when I saw the vignette for Hyo, I was like, okay, he seems like another cruiserweight high flyer, maybe a little bit flamboyant. Cool. Very excited to see this. He comes out, he is a cat boy. Sorry, they are a cat boy because commentary wanted to remind everyone that he has foregone the label of human being. He is something else entirely. I said, all right, cool. I like broken Matt Hardy. I like Blackheart Leo Rush. I know Dave's a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. We can get behind the weird. And then he starts purring.
No.
I'm like, all right, how are they going to make this funny? Because New Japan is the work rate company from time to time, but they are also funny as hell. So something is going to happen that I'm going to be innately enamored by all of this. And I was, because when they both got in there, the bell rang, them boys were wrestling. Granted, there was at one point where Yo put Hyo in the Paradise Lock, and you know what the Paradise Lock is, right, Dave?
What is it?
Cool. I love explaining this to people. It is a submission hold that basically pretzels your opponent and makes you like basically face down, ass up, with your hands tied by your stomach, like in your stomach, and you can't move. And it's basically just like a setup for like a running drop kick to the ass.
So it's not like a sharpshooter or anything like that, right?
No. It's kind of like a sharpshooter, but you are the sharpshooter. It's like someone's put you with a ball. Yo starts then running around as Hyo was, like on all fours, and then lifts his leg up and like pretends like he's pissing on him. I'm like, okay. That's the point of the match. I was like, okay, this is the joke match. Haha. Then they start wrestling. And then I get mad all over again because I'm like, I don't know what this match is. I don't know who they are anymore because in 1 second, they're literally chasing each other around like two dogs trying to sniff each other's ass. And then in the next second, and I literally mean the next second, they're trading off pins. And then Hyo hit a sunset driver, which is a move that I've never seen before in my entire life. It's a sunset flip that is immediately followed into the pin that he got into by jumping over Yo vertical leap. These motherfuckers in Japan are doing it different. The Super Juniors specifically. I I'm so excited for the rest of this tournament because most of these matches were like under 10 minutes. Because I'm sure they're like trying to build up momentum because, it's one of those New Japan tournaments where they've been wrestling every other day. The next one is the 16th. That's in 2 days. That gives them 2 days of recuperation to do bullshit. And it's a death match psycho in this tournament now.
See, cruiserweight is interesting because back when 205 Live was a thing, the bar was a lot lower back then in terms of because there was no AEW back then, that kind of thing. But I was shocked watching the cruiserweights and going, "This is the best wrestling I've ever seen."
Dude, I I feel like I'm getting what like some of the residuals because the guys that you were looking at were like, some of them now are like cemented in legacy as like gods of that style of hell. Kota Ibushi was was in some of those matches. Like his match with Cedric in the Cruiserweight Classic. Like that is a certified banger to most people. And I'm glad that because I believe you was who told me that was like, yeah, it sucks that you weren't there for, the beginning, but now you get to see these new stars get created. And I'm looking at that right now. I'm getting like, the feelers out. I'm like, oh damn, this guy, he got something. Like I'm always talking about Kosei Fujita. Come to find out, he won the best of the Super Juniors last year, and then was the youngest to ever do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm putting stock in good guys and good talent, and hopefully, they end up like a Cedric Alexander or a Kota Ibushi or a Buddy Murphy.
Just
Guys that are just
wait,
like,
just wait till you're old enough to see one of the wrestlers you saw debut retire. That shit fucked me up. Like when I first
oh
saw that,
man,
I was like, "Oh, I'm old."
I'm already not ready for Seth's retirement. Like I know we were talking about it at the beginning of the episode. I'm not ready. I know I didn't see him debut, but I saw him return. Like when he was gone after Mania and he returned in Corpus. Like I almost went to that. And I was in tears. I was like, ah. Same with Swerve. We all know the story I tell that I cried for 45 minutes straight when Swerve Strickland came back. But oof, just yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for these new crop of wrestlers, especially the woman that I've been talking everyone's ear off about. NXT's new face. Give her all the belts. Lizzie Goddamn Rain, formerly known as Rain Leverkusen. That, yeah, give her every belt ever. All of them.
The most I've seen of her so far, and I already liked her anyway, but I saw her debut match, that little clip at the end with her finisher, and people had the stupidest discourse about her finisher.
Oh yes, I remember you regaling about the idiots in your comments and in your replies talking about how
It's
dude.
I so I post things mostly on, TikTok. Really mainly TikTok is where I have like the videos, but you'll see me in comment sections of every other app interacting with people I like or calling other people dumb. I try not to do because I don't want to be on a high horse either, but there are some times where I'm like, you guys have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. You realize it takes both wrestlers every single fucking time there's a finisher. Every finisher requires both of them.
Yeah, yeah. Like I always put up the example of like you have to jump into a cutter.
Yeah.
You just have to.
You
You
have to
just
jump
you
and you have
break
to
the other guy's
lie
neck.
down. You have to consciously lie down in midair to get the cutter.
Like the regarded as probably the greatest wrestling finisher of all time, the Stone Cold Stunner. the best sells for that, and these aren't my opinions because these are other people's. The Rocks, Scott Hall, Shane McMahon, Santino, uh, Paul, well, Paul Levesque. Oh my God, Triple H. They all oversell it and jump. Hell, uh, The Rock basically does a cartwheel when he sells the stunner. So I don't want to hear any dumb smooth brain wrestling takes about how the Thunderstruck is a bad finisher. It's a pop up shining wizard. It's the coolest thing you've ever seen, and I won't hear any Lizzie Rain disrespect. Oh my goodness. Oh, speaking of NXT, Mason Rook. That's that big guy that did the moonsault off the top rope.
Somebody called him Ralphie May, and I can't unsee it. I hate it.
I didn't know that I had been seeing him all over my Instagram feed for as long as I've been like liking wrestling. He's a part, I think it's like PWO.
Hmm.
It's like a they always post finisher videos that are like, oh, name this finisher, or which one looks like it hurts the most, and it's like a black ring with yellow ropes, and it's always this big dude doing these crazy ass pile drivers, and that's uh Will Cruz now in NXT, Mason Rook. And after rewatching some of those, creative finisher ass moves, he is going to dominate NXT, kind of the way Obafemi did, but different because Obafemi is kind of like a Gunther, a Roman, a wrestler that who get technical if you want to, but he's mainly going to just beat the shit out of you. Mason Rook is a super heavyweight. He's going to be like Big Van Vader in Japan.
Mhm.
This shit is going to cook. And now we have Naraku, which is his new name now.
What a great name.
I I'm still here on it.
So I mean, I know it's probably a common name, but the first thing I thought of was the villain in Inuyasha.
Yeah, that's when I typed that in, that's the first thing that popped up. I was like, "Oh, okay." But then my buddy was like, "Oh, it means abyss or hell when you translate it into English." And I'm like, Sinister was right there.
Yeah.
I but I'll take what I can get. And when he did his finisher, pardon me, I instinctively screamed evil. But that is no longer the name of the move. It is called Into the Abyss. It's not even just called Abyss so we can have something to yell, but I guess all they looked up was former IWGP champion and nothing else.
Hell, maybe they can't say the word abyss because of the wrestler Abyss in TNA.
He works there now. He's literally backstage. But I am excited because he still wrestles like he does well, and like he had the same gear, which I was really not expecting. Like it's the exact same gear he had in New Japan, which hey, I'll take it. I'll take my little victories.
Oh,
Uh,
you like talk about naming they used to be a lot worse with that.
yeah. Jimmy Yang Wang came up on my TikTok feed at a Chris Van Vliet interview, and yeah, Vince McMahon is a cretin and a menace to society.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
PM. Speaking of Vince McMahon ass decisions, um, this El Grande gimmick as a real Latino man, shout out my nigga Andrade. Um, it really makes my blood boil. And the fact that I'm seeing other like Hispanic people be like, "Oh God, I love this! I can't wait for the Mascara v Mascara match at I forgot what the pay per view is called, but I'm so excited! I can't wait, dude. Vikingo is right there. He's right there. You know who else is there? Adam Macias. I know he's a heel, but if you watched any of his older matches when he was like Ricky Banderas or his Lucha Underground run is Mil Muertes, you'll understand why I get so upset. You have Psycho Clown, you have Pagano, you have the entire Psycho Circus. You have El Heel del Dr. Wagner Jr., a man that I've personally met and is cool as hell. All these top stars in the making right here. And you want to put your money behind the German dude and the little white guy? You let Ludwig Kaiser win the fucking God, it's the sword thing. Hold on. Sword gimmick tournament.
Drew McIntyre's Claymore.
Right. Oh, the Rey de Reyes tournament. Right, right. That. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that's insane. Like, and anyway, I don't want to get mad again, but that was dumb. And they had Kaiser face Rey Mysterio so Kaiser could get ready for facing El Grande, which ended exactly how you thought it would with Los Americanos and Los Hermanos Americanos, because I guess the Creed brothers wanted to be on TV, and they said, "Not if you're not in a mask." Which awesome, love that. Oh, you would think that this is a bright spot, but I have this in the negative pile. Io and Becky for the IC title. Yeah, no, man, it was buns, and that and that's saying something because that's one of the four horsemen and a top five all time wrestler in a championship match on Raw. That should be great, but no, it was dumb. But the crowd was chanting, "We want Kyrie." And that made everybody on Twitter think that Kyrie's coming back at Backlash, guys. She's not really fired. It's like the R-Truth thing. And then everyone was disappointed when Io and Oscar just had a good match.
It's like carrying Cross all over again. Oh, it's a total work. No, it's not.
It's not. It's not. And then Oscar maybe retired.
I think she's
Like
semi-retired, is what I heard.
ah
I mean, based on how TKO is treating everybody, I feel like a lot of wrestlers are going to decide that maybe it's time to hang it up.
yeah. Like, oh my god, that brings to the New Day. Like gone. Just gone straight up. Just decided to leave.
They appeared in an indie show under their new names, or they got advertised for one or something. But it's definitely Austin Creed and Kofi. Kofi got to keep his first name.
What? Breaking news? Let me see this. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. Good. Good, good, good. And I genuinely think they might end up in AEW because Swerve was talking about it. He was on some podcast being like, he was asked like he hit all the people wanting the New Day go to AEW. He was like, "There's a lot of wrestlers in AEW who want them to come here. Like, do you know how amazing that would be? Do you know how like legendary those stars are?" And then the Young Bucks on their BTE mail time, they they're so good at playing coy. They read a question was like, "What's a tag team match you're really excited for in 2026?" Always. Well, we heard a lot of releases happen, so there's a lot of dream matches that could happen. Anything's possible.
There's
And all I heard was Motor City, New Day, Young Bucks, ladder match.
there's a wrestling creator on TikTok that did this video actually a few years ago when AEW still like wasn't like in its infancy, but it was a few years ago. Um, maybe it's one or two. Anyway, it was older. And he did this skit to himself of him pretending to be a talent talking to AEW or Tony Khan and being like, "So you're going to pay me double the money I was making before? I only have to work once or twice a week, and I'm going to get to work with my friends or people I've been wanting to work with for years, and I'll get to work with them now. Hell yeah, I'll sign up." Like that is it's a no-brainer for most any professional wrestler that has been searching for an alternative, especially ones that have been WWE forever.
Yeah, like it. It's like those memes are like this age like fine wine or this age like milk. These AEW like jokes that they were posting where Tony Khan is like, there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business. There's me, Tony Khan. When he was talking about Nick Khan trying to get in contact with New Japan. And it's like, well, I'm sure you made a lot of progress because in the past couple of weeks, I've had John Moxley defend his US championship. I've had Minoru Suzuki. I've had this, that. I was like, damn. And now look at it. You got Nick Wayne in the best of the Super Juniors. You got Will Osprey, never six-man tag champs with the United Empire. You got Andrade, the global heavyweight champion. You got Takeshita, a triple signed wrestler, AEW, New Japan, DDT Pro Wrestling, New Japan television champion. Claudio was just the world heavyweight champion in CMLL. Like, yeah, I kind of think, say what you will, I do think AEW has kind of a better handle on partnerships than TKO does.
They revived ROH. That's still going.
Like,
Athena.
Athena is making that women's Ring of Honor championship look like Roman's universal title. And the difference between the two of them, I see Athena on Ring of Honor television defending that title more.
Yeah.
Whoops. Because Ring of Honor and AEW do like eliminator / proving ground matches. So it's just like, oh, if you beat them, you get a title shot. But if not, the audience gets a sick match that they wouldn't have been able to see otherwise. Nobody loses, especially the fans.
It's like
That's
Darby
kind of the
defending his
point.
title every week.
Dude, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How many defenses has he had already?
4 or
7?
5, I think. Is it more? I thought it was like 4 or 5.
Well, let's see. Let's see, because it was Tommaso Ciampa. That was the first one. Brody King, Kevin Knight, Pac, Konosuke Takeshita. 5. He's had 5 title defenses, most of which have been fucking insane. There haven't been no like cookie cutter swatch matches or no like, oh, we're gonna play it safe. In every single one of those matches, you think Darby is going to lose, not because like he's just getting his ass beat. It's just because, damn, these are some really top tier guys.
Yeah.
Next, he's gonna fight Speedball.
And him fighting Pac on a basically a golf course.
Dude.
The last time I saw a golf course being used in wrestling, Big Boss Man was it? No, that was a funeral thing. Big Boss Man was dragging Big Show's father's casket or some shit. But there was another golf course segment in WWE at some point. I think either with Kane and Daniel Bryan when they were Team Hell No. But be that as it may, I've never seen an actual match in a sand trap and the golf course and like actual suplexes being performed on these things. A coffin drop from fucking really high.
From wherever at this point. I find it very funny that both the world champion and the TNT champion, both of their gimmicks are, I will hit you from wherever I goddamn well please. Because Kevin Knight, he started off this month with fighting Max for the TNT championship. Or maybe not this month, but like this this new run. They opened the show, and the match was damn near better than their first one for the world title. And it ends with Darby coming down from the rafters like Sting and hitting Maxie with the Scorpion Deathlock. And then he gets another title shot, which we talked about previously, which is like, damn, I I don't know how this run is going to end. I don't know who's going to take that belt off of him. Probably Osprey with the way this Owen Hart tournament is looking. Because you could have just called this the Osprey title shot tournament, and nobody would have had any different takes.
A German suplex from the top rope that landed. That was like my oh shit moment because that shit always gets reversed.
Yeah, I saw that today again in the Super Juniors tournament. That move is scary. Anytime you do it, doesn't matter how big or small you are, that is insane.
I also don't know if Max is losing because I can't really, even though there's a graphic for it, I can't really see him being bald. And I mean, mostly because those are all like hair transplants now at this point. So I don't know how they're
Right. Oh,
gonna.
absolutely.
But the whole segment of him dissing bald people, and then I saw more bald representation on TV than I've ever seen in my life. Afterwards, when they just
That
had everyone, he ran into every bald person in the back.
I thought it was very funny how John Silver tweeted out, "It's like show up, be bald, flex, get paid." Because one, I don't know whose idea that was. Give them a raise. Two, I did not know that there were that many bald people in AEW staff and talent. Maybe they're the ones writing these balls joke because they're getting really like personal. Like these jokes have to be coming from a bald man himself.
It did feel very much like Christopher Daniels humor.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he's been doing after he's retired. He's been making everybody pop in the back.
Dude, he was among the crowd. He looked the most hurt.
Oh my gosh! Because that's what AEW does just better. They have a better balance of wrestling and comedy. Because like I have no problem with how they're booking Danhausen. That's been damn their best part of WWE these past couple of months. But the wrestling and the stories are not hitting the same.
Well, yeah, you get like semblance of story, and then ad.
Yeah, yeah. That sound that I hear that in my nightmares. That stupid ad music in the Netflix waiting music, I guess. It just sounds like I'm on hold. It's
So your mic did not pick up the volume with which you were just doing that, so it's like everyone was spared and censored from that noise.
yeah, but I feel like everyone who's watching this who knows what I'm talking about is gonna hear that music and be like, no, I just got it
Oh,
stuck out of my head.
it's gonna be engraved.
Yeah, oh absolutely. Oh my god, speaking of songs engraved in my head, now that Joe Henry's on Raw, I'm sure you've seen the clips. Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? I That song needs to go triple platinum.
Did you see the guy? So the guy that always does those backstage skits, and he does a phenomenal Triple H impression. He
Yeah,
added
yes.
alternative lyrics to that song, and he said, "Hey, here's some alternative lyrics. Feel free to use any of them."
Oh my gosh. I just know Joe Henry's chronically online and will probably use at least one of them.
Some of them were pretty vulgar. Something I don't know.
Oh, well.
Well, if I remember right, I gotta find that video again.
Speaking of vulgar, I had a very charged conversation with one of my mutuals who hopefully we'll have on the podcast one day because I'm going on his game show, MJ All Star, um, we are constantly wondering where the hell Jay White is. I miss the Switchblade so much that for my birthday, I got a Switchblade Jay White shirt that has been so long out of production that it had to be made to order at ProWrestlingTees.com. Now, as we recall from episodes past, Konosuke Takeshita was jumped and had his title stolen from him by a masked man. Who I thought, in my heart of hearts, was Jay White. Because a couple days later, or a couple weeks later, on a collision, the guns were back. Both of them at the same time. So you had both the guns, Juice, and now newly appointed Ace Austin were all there. And you even have Nigel McGuinness on commentary. All they're missing is that leader, the Switchblade. I'm like, oh man, we're just setting seeds. Oh, it's gonna be like a Forbidden Door reveal. I can't wait. It was Sonata. Yeah. Which is fine. I like Sonata, an original member of Los Ingobernables de Japón with Naito and Suji, and a man that I will be talking about for a quick second, Shingo Takagi, who had a title shot against Callum Newman, which was a banger and made me a fan of Shingo Takagi. Like he is one of them ones. One of his finishes is just a running lariat. That's it. And I've never seen a man hit a snap lariat before, but now that I've watched Shingo Takagi match, I now know what that looks like. It's tough. My dad was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, kind of like Stan Hansen. I was like, "I don't know, man. Stan Hansen was never like a best of the Super Junior winner. Shingo Takagi was."
Jay White's going to end up coming back at Double or Nothing.
Man, if you get to experience that and I don't, I'll be okay with that. It's fine.
It's been a while since I've been to a live wrestling event, and I think the last one was an AEW show. No, it was a WWE house show.
Ah,
So it's been a while. Like the last AEW show I went to was a Dynamite.
oh. I'm hoping that they announced a new show location in Sugarland, Texas. I think in like June 17th. It's a double taping of Collision and Dynamite. Still too far for my mom to drive. I'm like, golly. She's like, "Come to San Antonio one of these days, sweetie." And I'm like, all right. All right.
Yeah,
But
I'm
speaking of,
glad I just have to take the subway because that shit's gonna be from like
yeah,
8 o'clock to 1 in the morning or something.
something crazy, yeah. Well, they've been ending earlier than they have in the past. Because I remember the first one I watched with you that I think it was Forbidden Door because that was the Osprey Swerve match. That went into like midnight, but they had just a lot of matches, and a lot of those matches had time, which I couldn't complain about.
Yeah,
The
and
match was hell awesome.
there's 8 of them, so they all have to be like half an hour each. That's not really
I,
gonna work.
I'm thinking they're gonna they're gonna end the card around 12 or 13 matches.
Oh, you think they're gonna add more matches?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Moxley's not
Yeah.
defending his title, which is convenient.
Yeah, 0 hours, 7 o'clock. Match card start time. Main card start time's 8 o'clock. And I'm going with my 77-year-old uncle. There's no fucking way.
But some of the matches that got added like this past like Dynamite were for the Owen.
Hmm.
Because we get Samoa Joe and Will Ospreay. And the women's one was, let me see. Do. That's the men's one. Where's the women's one? Don't be sexist, Google. Or have they? Yeah, they have their. They've revealed the women's one because I know Persephone is in the women's one. Willow and Alex Windsor. That is the one, the women's one at Double or Nothing. Which exciting, exciting. But the reason why I said this is the Will Ospreay tournament is simply because, based on the tournament itself, you got Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's not losing to Samoa Joe. Not because he can't, but because Samoa Joe said that he's retiring soon. This is all like looking at this tournament. Mark Davis versus Jack Perry, Brody King versus Claudio, Swerve versus Bandito. A blind man can tell you this is leading up to Swerve Ospreay 2 or 3 or whatever number match this is. With a heel Swerve and a babyface Ospreay who is going to turn heel at some point in the near future. Because this is the year they pull the trigger on Ospreay winning the world title. But it's not going to be babyface aerial assassin. It's going to be Commonwealth Kingpin. Like, you lost to Chase Owens, bruv, Will Ospreay. And I can't wait. This is looking to be Ospreay's year. And I can't wait to see Darby try not to die again against Ospreay.
He's going to kick out of a hidden blade at least once.
Dude, if I can see it now, Wembley Stadium, Darby kicks out of the hidden blade at one, gets immediately hit with another one. That if Darby holds the belt that long, if Max ends up becoming bald, which stranger things have happened.
I mean, it also is Max. He could just renege on it.
True. Speaking of Ospreay and Moxley, where are all the AEW ain't got storyline people at? Where are they? Come to the front. Because this has been a story. This has been probably some of the most interesting story angles AEW has given us in a very long time since Swerve and Hangman's Blood feud. Because it's not even just like showcasing on AEW television. It's happening on New Japan television too. In after the main event of what was the event called? I don't know. After the Newman Takagi match, the United Empire surrounded Suji, who came out to help Takagi, and they were like, "We're gonna beat their ass." Here comes Will. No, guys, you can't. We're not like this. Meanwhile, they've been like this since he's been gone. I've watched it. I've watched Jake Lee do some gnarly, stupid shit to everybody in that ring. I've seen Francesco Akira and Jacob Awesome Young jump Unbound Express and put Robbie X's neck in a chair. I've seen Hanare and Great O'Khan try and bully the tag division. Emphasis on try. They're not doing shit to KOB. I'm so sorry, but they're trying. Andrade captured the global heavyweight championship from Suji, and now is going to be defending it against Shota Umino and Drilla Maloney. United Empire is taking their shit by force, and now they have the gold to prove it. But Ospreay doesn't like the way they're getting shit done. So Ospreay's about to leave, and Newman's like, "Oi, Death Rider." Yeah, that rubbed him the wrong way. Shingo caught a hidden blade, but Will wasn't happy about it. But he wasn't going to let fucking no 23-year-old punk call him a Death Rider. He has said on numerous occasions he bleeds green and gold. This is for Callum. He needs to get that killer instinct back for Callum. Those are Will's words. You wanted me to be like the way y'all need me to be. I can't do that with how I am now. That's why I'm training with the Death Riders. It's good storytelling, and it's probably going to set up Callum versus Osprey. Loser leaves the Empire, and I can't wait. Gato is legitimately cooking again. It's gonna be sick. Um. Oh, quick update note for my AEW fans. I do love the fact that they made the main event card graphics the thumbnails for the episodes, so it makes it easier for us to distinguish what episode is what when it's just not the Dynamite or Collision logo.
Oh yeah.
That's super cool and awesome. And switching back to things that aren't super cool and awesome, the Usos, who I spent literally 4 years of my life learning their character development, 4 years, just for all of that to go down the drain and for them to be sitting in Roman's I tell you what to do now chair all over again.
They somebody said somewhere that when Roman retires, he's going to leave the Ulafala, Jordans, and the Usos in the ring.
Yeah, I posted that on my story. I don't know who wrote that tweet, but they were right.
Yeah.
They were absolutely right because you know what? I'm getting sick and tired of Roman Reigns. Because when was told, oh yeah, Roman Reigns is going to be here every week, I was dumb. And so AEW pilled that I thought that meant that he was going to be defending his title or at least wrestling. No, he's been getting dog walked by Jacob Fatu, which is always great. Always fun to see the Tongan death grip in use. But yeah, no, this is not fun. And everyone thinking, guys, this is what Zilla Fatu is going to come in. We've been saying that since like 3 WrestleManias ago. And that's only as long as I've been aware of Zilla Fatu.
It's like they've gotten better because now there's a couple of them. WWE loves to just put all of their eggs in one basket in one superstar and have them carry the company for whatever reason. And right now it's Roman and Cody. Before it was Cena. What happens when both of them are injured simultaneously?
Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
You know, this happened at a point in time where, a few years back, Sheamus was still actively wrestling. He was still in main event storylines. CM Punk, I think, and like 6 different wrestlers, and they were all injured. And it's like, wow, now you guys got to pull from the rest of your roster because the guys that you put up front are all nursing an injury.
Yeah, it's like you can only have one feud in the main event scene at a time per show. Like, what happened to the time? Like, because if it's so easy to like overfill the mid card, because I know they're trying to, but if I have to see Penta fight Rusev or Jabon again, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. If I have to see
Oh,
any combination of those 4 idiots, because now they're doing it with Ethan Page, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I have referenced this before, but pandemic era WWE with Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins for literal months. I was going out of my fucking mind.
That's gonna be Jacob and Roman. I know it is. I'm gonna get this match 6 different ways. It's gonna be this match, the one we just got a backlash. We're gonna get a rematch because Roman didn't get acknowledged on Raw and got jumped again. And Jacob Fatu turned heel because he wiped out the Usos. That didn't look like heel turn to me. That looked like retribution for Kevin Owens. um, what's it called? Like Ray Phoenix is literally texting. He's like, "Hey, I love my brother," or not text tweeting. "I love my brother, but I would also like an opportunity, please." The tag division is the Vision and the Street Profits. Oh, you thought I was going to say more tag teams? Me too. Where are the Viking Raiders or the War Raiders? Where are the Creed brothers? Oh yeah, they're in masks now. Where's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate? New Catch Republic. Oh yeah, they're also in masks now. And meanwhile, you have on AEW like 10-man multi matches that start every other show. And you would think they'd be bad and overbloated and spot fest. They are indeed spot fest, but at least they're cohesive and tell a story at the same time because all the members within the multi man matches have ongoing storylines.
And this current card of these 8 matches, every single one of them is main event caliber matches. Not a single one is less than that.
Not like first time ever Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada, or as I call him, DDT on the floor TM. Darby versus MJF, that was already a main event match when it happened on Dynamite, and now it's on a pay per view. Will Ospreay versus Samoa Joe. That is a match that Will Ospreay has been wanting to have since he began wrestling. That's one of his dream matches. A fatal 4-way match between all 4 former women's world champions and the current women's world champion, who has beaten 2 out of the 3, actually beaten all 3 of those women already 1v1.
I just thought of when you said Osprey and Samoa Joe, I just thought of the perfect spot that I hope happens now. That spot where Samoa Joe casually walks away from someone diving off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that Osprey is going to see that, do like a midair adjustment, land on his feet, and flip him off.
Man, give this man the pen. Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, we're probably gonna get like spots from like the iconic Unbreakable 3-way match with CD, AJ, and Joe. But no, also that specifically that needs to happen. Him doing that and landing on his feet into a hidden blade, maybe.
Oh,
That'd be sick as hell. You know you got to hit Samoa Joe with a phenomenal forearm.
yeah.
You got to. You got to.
This is for Wendy.
Dude, after that match, AJ shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get a triple threat match: AJ, Samoa Joe, Will Ospreay. Or once Finn Balor is finished killing JD McDonough and oh Jesus, Dominic, how did I forget his name? Maybe he can go on to AEW.
Finn posted a video. I don't know if he made it or someone else made it, but him slamming JD McDonough into like some backstage shit behind Dominic, and then it was turned into a sea shanty.
Yes, there's so many of those now, and Finn Balor is getting sent all of them. And I know he's loving it. Which I know immediately after that, like history was made, where there was like the AAA Mega Championship was defended on Raw for the first time ever. And then I was immediately bombarded by a tweet of being like, hey, do you remember when Kenny defended the AAA Championship against Sammy Guevara on Dynamite? It's like, no, I don't remember that. But apparently it happened. I think he did it twice too, because I think he defended the belt against Vikingo too. Or maybe they just had a match. Let's find out. Because I know they've had a match, and it was like the thing that um put him on the map. Versus Vikingo. AAA Mega Champ. Yes, they have, but okay, that was at Triple Mania. Oh, he took it from Vikingo at Triple Mania. Or did he? I don't know. Either way, he won it, defended on AEW television. Therefore, WWE has to catch up. I think in that same Raw there was Io versus Sol Ruka, which was like, damn. I thought I'd have to like beg for that. But you know what? I didn't. And it was a pretty good match. Speaking of matches that I didn't think I would get, Will Ospreay versus Ace Austin on this past Dynamite, where we got to see Will's updated move set with his training for the Death Riders. How did you feel about that?
That was okay. I mean, the stuff that like I'm remembering, I know I saw part of that match, and then I had to do something else. I don't
I know
remember
he
all of it.
finished the match with a flying armbar rather than the hidden blade, which I was like, oh shit, that was cool because Ace was in the hidden blade like position, but instead he like kicked the arm that he was working throughout the match and then hit a flying armbar for the tap. I said, whoa, see, I told you he could be a tech wizard. It's a shame. It's a shame the difference in like how to push a star without like damaging another one. Because then you go on to like Raw and Oba's 2v1ing Los Garzas who haven't been on TV in God knows how long.
Oh, right, he dragged them from backstage.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to open his challenge, which is like a fun, like it's a fun premise and angle, but then it's like, oh, so now you're saying that all the rest of the locker room is bitch made. I would have done it to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I couldn't find anyone in this locker room because somebody from TNA or AAA or something, NXT. That it would have been a great time to be like, okay, cool. Put Mason Rook on, on the main roster or Evil. Get people ready for these NXT stars or give people a reason to watch NXT. It'd be so easy to do that. Or, use the wrestlers of the companies that you're buying. I don't know, man.
They did that once upon a time. Like they got Kevin Owens was on. I think he was even on a pay per view. He won the U.S. title, and like that's kind of how he got called up.
Yeah, he beat John Cena.
Yeah,
But they don't want to do shit like that for us anymore because we're spoiled. Well, they'll say we'll be spoiled. But on the other end, I'm watching Ring of Honor and watching a match between Tommy Billington and Adam Priest, two guys that I don't know have a match with the Swirl. And throughout that match, I'm like, wow, I think I need to watch more Tommy Billington and Adam Priest matches. Same thing with Busta in the Brain, Jordan Price and Jordan Oliver and Alex Price. They're amazing and their gimmick is hilarious. It's just Pinky in the Brain, but two dudes. Like that's awesome. And their finisher is like this. I don't even know how you would explain it. It's just like a bulldog power bomb from the top rope. It's so cool. I need to see. I don't remember which is which. I think Jordan Oliver is the crazy one. I need to see him have a match with Mark Briscoe. That's gonna be two crazy motherfuckers just going ham in the ring. And last but not least, Speedball doing squash matches in the stead of Brody King, I think is awesome and hilarious. Because they're setting up the eventual um, jet speed, match that's gonna eventually make one of them turn heel, which I'm hoping is Speedball. I know I was saying it should be Kevin, but heel Speedball Mike Bailey sounds like the funniest thing ever.
oh man, like he'd still have the same smirk. He'd just be like a lot more smug about it.
Yeah, exactly. And, put him with the Hurt Syndicate. And they'd be like, you know what, Speedball? Now that you're a little bit more rough around the edges, you're a pretty cool guy. Boom. Money right
Blasphemy,
there. Boom. And now I think it's time we move on to our highlights of the week. And this time I promise it won't be Kevin Knight.
Yeah, no, mine was Darby Allin. Actually, yeah, it was a toss up between one of his coffin drops, but I think that the German suplex off the top rope took over all that. That the fact that he landed that, I was simultaneously disgusted and amazed.
I think mine might have to be Andrade winning the global championship. Like
How do you
that
know?
match was so was so good because like there was a point in it where they were just in the middle of the ring chopping each other. Like not like knife edge, overhand. Like Suji was like bleeding at the end of that match. It was just sick. So sick. And if I have to pick a more recent one, definitely the match between Ichiban Sweet Boys and El Desperado and Mystico. That shit was art. That was true cruiserweight tag team wrestling at its finest. And this is coming from a person who watches the Young Bucks every Wednesday and Saturday. It was amazing. So great.
All right,
All right, Dave, where can they find you and where will you be next?
Well, I am Xanatos1138 on all socials, and I will be next week. I will be at Double or Nothing. So if you see this and you're actually going to it, come say hello. Same thing goes for the week after when I'm at Fan Expo Philly because I will be there all 3 days. It's a 3-day event. Cass, what about you?
I don't have any events planned as of late. I do know that I will be on MJ All Stars Wrestling Jeopardy Trivia Game Show whenever that is announced. So if you like game shows and trivia and want to test your knowledge, come in and have some fun. I know there's going to be some other guests like Aaliyah the Funky Weapon or the Funky Pansexual. I'm not good with people's usernames because there's some of the most outlandish shit, especially on TikTok. But I'm very excited to meet some new wrestling fans, and you'll always catch me on TikTok saying my takes, the good takes, the correct takes, never wrong, always correct. And it's not just me saying it; other people say it too.
Yeah, that's true. I was there for that. Yeah,
I was there.
All right. See you guys in a couple weeks then.
That might be